guys, Jordan here. Welcome back to my channel. First things first, excuse this hair. I have no clue what's going on with this. I decided to try to straighten it, but as you can see, being natural and this South Florida heat does just not work well together. Anyway, off of that, welcome to this video. It is the first one in my financial freedom series, you guys. I'm not quite there yet. I am not financially free yet, but I am working on it. And the first thing I want to talk about is something that not a lot of people want to talk about. Like, it's kind of taboo in the sense that a lot of people like pretend like it doesn't exist, but it is debt. Specifically, my student loan debt. You guys, we're just going to start off right with the banger, hit it right in the heart. I owe over $200,000 in student loans. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there are probably just looking at me like, girl, what the hell? Yeah, I ask myself that all the time. When I look back at my college experience, where I went, where I could have went, where I got scholarship offers for, where I didn't, you know, I could make a lot of excuses for why I have all these loans, but, you know, the only thing I can say is I chose to go to school where I chose to go to school, and that's just what it is. Okay, so how I got to this point, basically, when I went to undergrad, I went to a Division III school in Pennsylvania. I had a few scholarship offers to other schools, but I chose this one particular school because I was a track athlete, and although they didn't offer me any scholarships because we were Division III at the time, I chose the school because I knew I wanted to go to a school that wasn't too far from home. I knew a lot of people that went to the school already. They had an amazing track program that I knew I wanted to be a part of. And when I look back on it now, I'm just like, girl, you're dumb. You are so dumb. You could have went to one of these other schools that also had great track programs and was on scholarship, and you wouldn't have student loans. But I did. It wasn't the most expensive school to go to, but yeah, I racked up some student loans while I was there. However, during my junior year, we did switch over to Division II, which I still didn't get that year paid for, but my senior year was fully paid for. I didn't have to take out any loans that year, so that's a blessing for that one. I graduated in 2009, so let's say from 2005 to it is now 2018. Student loans started in 2005, so that means I have at least $25,000 to $30,000 just from those 4 years alone, and interest racked up over the last 12 years or so. So that alone is a lot. It is a whole lot. Next up, I never planned on going to grad school. I never planned on it. But as I was finishing up college, I was thinking like, hey, do I really want to be a writer? Do I want to go back home and live in Jersey? Like, what do I want to do with my life? And I knew I loved sports. I knew I liked writing about sports. But I wasn't sure if I just wanted to write particularly. I wanted to get more into like just all aspects of sports in general. So I was just like online browsing one day, and I saw another program, and that was in Miami at Barry University, and they had a rolling enrollment. So while most schools you have to apply, you know, months in advance to get approved, to get admitted to the school, this one had a rolling enrollment where you can apply at any time, and as long as you got accepted before the first day of classes, you can get in. So I applied. I'm like, hey, I live in Jersey. It's cold in the winter times. If I can go live in Miami, why not? Barry had an amazing sport management program. I loved my experience there. However, one thing you need to make sure you're looking at when you're looking at schools, you guys, is tuition. Private schools are so much more expensive than public schools, and there were a few schools down the road that had the same sport management program. Of course, it wasn't the same because they're different professors, different curriculum, but it was still sport management. That was maybe 4 times cheaper than going to Barry, but I didn't do my research. I was just so excited to go to Miami. I was so excited for this rolling enrollment. I just said, hey, school. And I'm like, hey, I can apply for a loan. I can get a job once I'm out there. I can work, you know, all that good stuff. So I did it. I went. I came to school at Barry, and yeah, very expensive school. Very, very expensive school. And I don't regret a lot in my life, and I'm not going to say I ever regret that decision because I met some of my best friends at that school, and I'm still in Florida now, so I love that school, as you can see from my water bottle. Yeah. But if I can do it differently, I probably would not have went to Barry, only because of the financial responsibility behind it all. There are so many programs out there as far as like GA programs and things like that where you can get your tuition paid for. With me, I was coming in so late that the program that I was going to become a GA for. I wasn't able to do it right away because, he wasn't sure if I was getting admitted in time, so he ended up giving the position to someone else, and I would just work part-time while I was there. So I was getting funds, but it would have been so much better to get my tuition paid for. So that is how I racked up majority of my student loans. And like I said, a lot of this is interest over the years. That's from 2009 to 2011. That's still 7 years ago at the latest that I started getting loans. So from 4 years at one school and 2 years at another school, and that's over 12 years altogether, I have a lot of interest on student loans that have been building up over the years. After I graduated, I worked for about 6 months, and then I joined the Army. Now, most people were like, how do you have student loans if you were in the Army? Well, hello, not my fault that the year I decided to join the Army, they were going through some kind of furlough, and it was weird. They were telling me one thing, but I had other people that joined with me that were doing the reserves, and they got their loans paid for, or they got to go to school for free, and it was just so weird. But me not thinking, I'm just like, I want to be a broadcast journalist. Don't go back to school, Jordan. You don't want to go back to school and rack up more student loans. Join the Army. They're going to pay you and teach you the job you want to know. So that is exactly what I did. And while I was in the Army, what I should have been doing was paying on my student loans. Even though they were in deferment and I didn't have to pay on them, I should have been paying on them. That way I could have knocked out a lot of that interest over the 3 years that I was in the U.S. Army. And I wouldn't have had to pay on interest for those years, or I would have had a few of those smaller loans knocked off while I was serving. I didn't do that. I was just like, oh, I don't have to pay for 3 years? Psh, I'm not paying. So that's what I did. Not a smart idea, guys. Please, 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 if you have your loans in deferment, pay on that interest. Pay on that interest, or if you have a smaller loan, maybe that's like $1,200, $1,500, $3,000, try knocking those things out now. Because while it seems great that you're not shutting out any money right now, in the long run, you're paying so much more. After I got out of the Army, I had what is called the GI Bill, which means they'll pay for me to go back to school while also paying for my housing, which was great. At the time, I'm just like, I don't want this. Just pay for my old loans. I don't need to get any new ones. I don't need to go back to school. But they didn't do it. So lo and behold, I'm still in school. And I'm going to continue to stay in school until I run out of my GI Bill because, hey, you didn't want to pay off my old loans. Now you can continue to pay for the new schooling. So I don't have to rack up any more loans. That's that. But, yeah. So I don't know the exact number, and I'll see if I can, log into my account and pull it up for you guys, but I want to say it's like $216,000 that I have in student loans to date. I did, however, I want to say in late September, early October, I did a great milestone that made me feel amazing. I had a smaller loan that was on there that was $1,200, I believe, $1,267 or somewhere around those numbers, and I paid it off. I got, getting out of the military, I had like a few injuries and things like that, not like from war or anything like that, but I had a few injuries like this, knee problems, things like that, so I get disability. It's not a whole lot, but sometimes the military is slow on their payments, so they had back pay me for about 1.5 years, so I had got a huge lump sum of money that, not huge, I had a lump sum of money that I decided to pay off some bills with. So little things on my credit, bam, 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 thank you, ma'am, it was gone. And then I also had this $1,200 loan staring me in the face. And a part of me is like, girl, save this money. Like, you're trying to buy a house soon. Don't pay the whole thing. Here, pay $200 on there. Put $500 on there. No, I paid the full thing off, and it felt amazing. While it made this much of a dent into my actual overall loan repayment, just knowing that instead of having 7 loans, I now had 6 or 8, and now I have 7, just made me feel so much better. Majority of my loans are in consolidation, but there are a few that just trickled around that are like private loans that were not involved, included with the other ones. So knowing I paid off that one loan and dropped down the overall number just made me feel amazing. And it did help my credit go up to know that, hey, that account is closed, it's paid in full. So now instead of going little by little and paying a little bit here, a little bit there on each of my loans, I plan on tackling my stuff a little differently, and I am going from the smallest to the biggest. So I have a few more loans. I think 3 or 4 more that are all under $10,000. The next one I think is about $1,900. There's the next one I plan on working on. I cannot just give $1,900 today, but I do plan on just paying that off within the next 2 months and working on my way up from there. So once those smaller loans are taken care of and I just have my 2 big consolidated loans, then I will start working on those ones, paying on both of them simultaneously, even though my loans, like I said, I'm in school right now, so my loans are in deferment until next year. However, I do not want to make the same mistake I made before and rack up, thousands of dollars in interest over these next year. So I will be paying things off as I see fit. Yeah, so I know that was kind of long. I know I was rambling, but I just wanted to kind of come out and talk to you guys in this financial freedom. Started off with a banger. Just let you know that, hey, I have debt. I have student loan debt. That is the only debt that I really have outside of my car that I'm really trying to work. And that's one of the ones that where you see that huge number, you just feel like you can never get out of that debt. But I know I can, and I know I will. So I look forward to making more videos, let you guys know about my progress with that. And I have a long way to go, and I'm so excited to know that I have faith in myself. I'm so excited to know that I have a plan on how to get rid of this debt, and definitely would do things a lot differently if I knew better. But when you know better, you do better. And now I know better, so now I'm working on doing better for myself and everyone else out there. So for all of you guys watching this video, please make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know if you're going through anything similar. You don't have to let me know how many student loans you have. That is not my business. I chose to share with you guys. I'm pretty sure there's a million people out there in the world who are like, oh, you're so crazy, you're so dumb, Americans this, Americans that. I see that all the time. But at the end of the day, I got my education. I'm working in the field that I love. I love my job. I'm doing almost exactly what I wanted to do with my life. So my education to me was worth it. Was the schools I went to worth it? I'm not quite sure. I wanted to pay that much, and I probably would do it a little bit differently if I had the opportunity to go back. I probably would have chosen a cheaper school to go to. And yeah. Thank you guys again for watching my video. The next video in this series will be on saving. Ways to save. I've started a few different ways, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. So make sure you, once again, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell button also. You get notifications whenever I post a video. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care now.